create a key light. I go to my create menu. There I have lights. Under create lights, we have a spotlight. Yeah, that would work. I think I could go with another light. Anyway, I go with the spotlight now. So let's go to create lights and the spotlight. Fine. Spotlight up here. Spotlight up might be up here there. Anyway, but why it's not visible? Let me just press 4. Press W because we just created a light. So it would show the light wherever it was. I just move the light a little up. Let me stop this. Yeah. So let's press R and scale the light. You see the light there? Yeah, this is your spotlight. Here is the spotlight. Just move the spotlight here. Let me just rotate the spotlight. Look at here from the top view. Yes, I'm in the top view now. I'm just rotating the spotlight. And now I go to my front view. Now I want the spotlight to focus on the table. So let's rotate here. Yeah, now it's focusing on the table. Yeah, fine. Move this a little up and little at the back, towards back. So okay, we just create a light, and I think the light is facing there. So what's next? Let's go to the settings of the spotlight. So the first thing we have to do is where is that render view? We have a render view here. Let me just render the scene and see what we get. Okay, one thing. Now I settled the spotlight now, but if I wanted to target on this object, what I could do is when you press T, when you select a light, when you select a light, please understand, when you select a light and press T, you will get a target. Where is the target, sir? We couldn't see it. Yes, just zoom in. Couldn't you see there are two move tools now? Just you move anyone, you could see. Yeah, I think look at that. That's the target. I'm just moving it and I positioned it on the table. This is the target of my light. So my spotlight now be focusing on this one. Now look at that. Let me just move that spotlight focus. Now I just move the spotlight. So this is where the spotlight energy will be falling. The shortcut key is just select the light and press T for target. Yes, understood. So here we have a spotlight now. Now let's get inside and look into the properties of a spotlight. So look here in the properties. Yeah, I can just use this here. Okay. Now I'm going to stop this. Okay. Now we have intensity of 1 here in the spotlight. Maybe if you could boost it up, you can get too much of intensity. Okay, not a big deal. And we have a cone angle, and we have penumbra angle, drop off, many things are there. Okay, just scroll down. There you can find Arnold menu. There you can find Arnold. Just click the Arnold and come down. You can find use color temperature. You could use that. Okay, and also you have exposure and everything. Look at this. The exposure is 0. Guys, always remember this. Whenever you create a light, just go to the light settings inside the Arnold and enable the exposure. The exposure is nothing there. Please enable this exposure to 10. I mean, they change this to 10 or something. Yeah, 10. Now you could see the exposure is 10. Now you could see the round there. The round shape is there. Maybe, yeah, now I could get the light here. Okay, I'm getting the light here. But still, I don't, I think the light is too much there. So maybe just scroll up a little bit. look at the spotlight, the intensity is 5, and we have a cone angle which is 40. Maybe I can bring this down. Yeah, look at this. I bring down the cone angle. Fine. Now you could see there, the cone angle you could see there now. Yeah, that's cool. It's very cool. Okay, so this is the cone angle right now. So now, from now on, whenever or however you move, the system would work, update accordingly right now. So even you can position this light outside the window, like outside the window. So it would give you a feel like the light is coming from the window outside. Look at that. Position it outside. So when someone, wait. Okay. Let's focus here. Here. Let me just stop this and render it once. Okay. And if you really focus on this part, maybe I could just switch to perspective view. So I want to go to perspective shape. Yeah, now I'm in the perspective view, guys. You can click on the normal view, you can switch to perspective. Right. So look at this. So here is the perspective, and here is the target, right? I can move the target here. So it would focus on this. Okay. Now, yeah, the light is, we don't have much light. So maybe the light is not that good. Just give it some time. Okay, so look at that. So now we are having a spotlight which is focusing on this object round. Whereas when you go to the right side here, in the spotlight, you could see there is an the spotlight shape, and just come down. There you can see intensity. We already worked with that, and there is no decay in that. Decay in the sense the light will decay after a while. So for example, for a while the light will be like this. Then after a while the light would change. Okay, that's what decay is about. So just a minute. Let me just stop this render. I think it's taking too much time to render in my system. I don't know why. Let me go to my Arnold render settings. Things are fine. Maybe go with ray depth. Ray depth is 10. That's fine. Advanced. Okay, which means my system is really bad. I go to my systems. Yeah, it's all done. Like I think my system is really bad. Okay. Yes, can look at the light here. It is you have a sharp end, right? The spot end is really sharp there. But if you don't want that sharp end, you could change that. So what I could do is I just scroll down, look at the properties. So the attribute window, color, intensity, window, and no decay. No decay means the light will not fall off. Okay, if you change this to linear, now you could see the light will fall off. The light energy will not be the same. But if you switch to quadratic, the light will be, you won't get that much energy. The energy, even though if it is 5, the energy what you get will be much lesser here. Okay, so anyway, I don't want to decay because light is somewhere, energy can't travel that far, right? So that's what it is. Anyway, we have a cone angle. Now I don't want this sharp edge. So go with penumbra angle. So once you increase your penumbra angle, you could see now the edges won't be sharp. Okay, the edges won't be sharp, and this is something like you can see here. Yeah, so let's increase the penumbra angle to 25. Even though the light is small, the penumbra angle will be bigger. So you won't get that much of what do you say? Yeah, you won't get that much of a sharp edge. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, that's what penumbra angle will do. And if you would like to increase the drop off, the light will fall. I mean, there won't be much light then. Okay, and this is intensity. Okay, these are fine. And what is next? Is there anything else we need to do, sir? Yeah, once you create a spotlight, fine. Work with the intensity, number one. Okay, and second one is your cone angle, penumbra angle. Okay, that we do. That is number two. And what is next? We have Arnold. You can go there, and there you can find exposure. You can give the exposure there. And one more thing, we have radius. What is a radius? Radius is about how much area the light can occupy. That's what it is. Okay, so the radius is 0. That's why even though intensity is 5, you don't get that much of energy. Okay, so let's increase the radius here now. Okay, maybe let me increase radius to 100. Okay, increase the radius to 100. But still, we don't feel like we got too much of energy. Fine, don't worry about it. We discuss about that. And when you come down again, there you can find next to the radius, you have lens radius. Lens radius. Increase the lens radius. Okay. So when you increase the lens radius, again, you'll get a good amount of light emission. That is what lens radius is about. But lens radius, let's turn this lens radius to 10 or 50, like that. Okay, that works. Let's come here and increase the intensity to 10 or 100. Yeah. Look at this now. I increase the intensity to 100 from 0 to 100 I made. And I think 100 is too much. Anyway. Yeah. I increased to 250. And when you just scroll down here, you could see normalize. However, I had to turn this off. So I don't want this intensity to 250. I break the intensity. I bring the intensity back to 5, and I just go down. That inside the Arnold, okay, the Arnold option. I just want to disable this normalize. You see that? Yes, it's too much now. Yeah. So, sir, it's too much light. What we should do? Yeah, we should bring down the lens radius. Okay, maybe to 0, back to 0. Fine, or I just have few, and the radius down here, it's also too much. Look at the radius. Yeah, let me just bring it down now. So once we disable the normalize, you'll get a raw light source. So I think that will be fine for now. Guys, remember that. So after you create a spotlight, come to the Arnold options, the attribute, scroll down in your attribute of the light and disable the normalize. Once you disable the normalize, then you'll get too much of light energy and source that you would use to fill your thing. And I don't want, yeah, I think 10 or 14 exposure will be fine. At exposure 10. And I have a light radius here. I can even increase the radius. When I increase the radius, it would light too much of area. It would cover too much of light. Okay, maybe I can switch this view to a render shape. Now I'm rendering this view. Now as I increase the radius, you could see it is covering too much of my light. Light is going too much of area. Okay, so anyway, let this be around 50 or 50 would work. Fine. And roundness, what is the roundness? Look at this, we have a round here, right? We have round here, you could see the round here. If you just bring this down, then you can't have the round there. You won't get the round there. Okay, so that's what it is. You bring it down. And we have a shadow density. If you want too much of density for the shadow, you could create this. Maybe I could give a density of shadow to be 10. Will it work? Okay, I think maximum is 1. Okay, there it is. Okay, great. So
Excuse
what
me,
is
sir.
next? Yes, yes.
Sir, under what tab are you working on the lights?
When you select the light, you go to the attribute editor. Attribute editor here, or you have to press Control A. Select the light and press Control A. You will get that editor.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Got it? Okay. Okay. Yes, that's it. This is the thing we're working on. Okay, let me just bring down the intensity to 1. So I don't want 5. Look at that. The light is too much, isn't it? So let me just bring it down. I press 1 for the spotlight and hit enter. So now I have less light, and for the light I have exposure of 10. Okay, maybe I just check there. I bring this to 2. Yeah, I brought down the exposure to 2 now. Fine. And radius, maybe I take the radius to 100. Okay. And roundness, I don't want the roundness. Let it be 0. Exposure is 2, radius is 100, and intensity is 1. Okay. And this is the cone angle I've used. And everything is fine. I would like to cast shadows. If you don't enable this cast shadows, then shadows won't be there for this object. It won't emit shadow. So if there is no shadow, then what's the point of having a light? Okay, so don't disable that. Cast shadows means emit shadows. Okay, that's what. So it has to emit shadows, and that's what it is. I think everything is done now. So this is just one light source we have, which is generated as a spotlight. Okay, now just come down little. There you could see under Arnold we have light effects. We have a light fog. You see that? This is spotlight, and in the spotlight we have a light effect. So when you go inside the light effect, you can see a light fog. So let me check. Do I get the shadows now? We go into the shadows. Use depth map shadows. Yeah, no, I think now I'm getting the shadows. So go into the shadows, and this will be off by default. Use depth map shadow. You can turn this on. Okay, or you can just scroll down. I think we have. I close my shadow now. I think under the Arnold we have another shadow. Yeah, under the Arnold we have a shadow. So I'm sorry guys, you don't need to turn that shadow here. Don't do that. Then just don't enable the depth map shadow. Just come down because Arnold have its own shadow. We could use that. 2 sample exposure is 2, 1 radius, roundness, and beneath that you have a cast shadow. It is on by default, so we don't need to do it again. And the shadow density, if you want too much shadow density, we could do something else. What is next? Now go above a little. You have a light effect, which is next to intensity, color, intensity, and everything. You have a light effect that you can have a light fog. Okay, which I won't use much, but anyway, there's a light fog here. Now just click here. When you click here, it will be connected by default. Just once you click, it will be connected by default, and there you could see the light fog attribute will be there. Okay, this light fog attribute will create a light fog. So maybe yeah, this is a light fog that we have to create for this light. Anyway, maybe I can create some other light. Okay, but this is not the way we usually work. Okay, this is not the way we usually work, but I'm just showing you how we could do this. And not only with this, just enabling that won't make your light fog to appear. We had to go to your render settings and also enable that. So go to render settings. There you have a render setting like that. So in the render settings, go to Arnold render and scroll down. And when you scroll down, you could see advanced, and there you can find environment. I repeat again, go to your retro settings, then go to Arnold Render tab, ensure you are in Arnold Render, then go to environment, and in the environment you have atmosphere. You can use atmosphere also. With atmosphere here, you can click on the atmosphere, and you can create AI atmospheric volume or AI fog or AI standard volume. You can use any of those. Okay, I don't have any plans to use it now, but I just show you how to do that. Okay. Let's create an AI atmospheric volume. Okay. So we create an AI atmospheric volume, and let me check that options here. I think I have options which is next to me. Look at that. After creating atmospheric volume, you will get that in your, by automatic, you will get that in your attribute editor. So what's the density here? The density is 0. Just turn this density to 0.001 and enter. Yeah, now you could see that light. Just 0.001. Maybe I had 0.0001. Oh, that's too bad. I think maybe 0.0003, 0.0009. Oh, 0.009 is almost 1. So 0.0008. Oh God, too bad. 0.0000007. Just hope you could see that. It's just a point. I'm working on point values here. The atmospheric volume. And there you have attenuation. Maybe you can, the higher the attenuation, it will be a sharper. The lower it will be blurred one. And attenuation color, then samples, those things are there. So don't go with too much of light source. Okay. Yeah, that's what you'll get when you work with atmosphere option in your Arnold render. Let's go back to our light. So where is the light? So our key light here, and in the key light we have a fog. You see that we have a fog effect. We have a fog effect. Maybe let me right click. Sorry, if you don't want this fog effect, you can just select the light fog here. Right click and just click on the name. As I'm in the light, select the light. Now you'll get the light properties. Now under the spotlight shape, scroll down. We have a light fog. I'm going to just right click on the name light fog, and I can just break the connection. Right click and hold your mouse, and you'll get this. And once you hit the break the connection, then the light fog that you created for that light will be gone. Okay, light fog that you created for that light alone will be gone, but you'll get the light fog which you created in the environment. You get the light fog which you created in the environment there. Okay, so that is one. So when you work with lights, there are 3 to 4 things you have to work with. Number 1, in the light, the properties in the light you should know. Then number 2, the properties in the render window you should know. Then number 3, the properties in the camera you should know. Okay. Then number 4 is the materials that we used here. What are the materials that we